everybody, it's just in time with your Flattop fans. It's the SOS show. We're here. We got a full meal for you today. We're doing chicken piccata, and we'll talk about that. A nice garlic mashed potato, and what we call a green bean alomindine. We're going to toast off, roast off, flavor up some almonds, and then we're going to add them to some fresh green beans. But we're going to go over a couple of the ingredients because I know a couple of people are saying, hey, what do you have out there? First, we are going to start off with our mashed potatoes. We have about 4 pounds. We got about 3 pounds of already boiled russet potatoes or Idahos, all right? And yes, this is a lot of butter, but we'll talk about that as well. So we're going to add butter to our stock pot here, okay? And we're going to get all, and that was only about a half a pound, so didn't look as bad as it was a lot of butter. And one of the things that we are talking about healthy living and healthy cooking, so we've got some healthy options out here that you'll see. But understand, one of the healthiest things that you can do is eat a meal, have a meal. Make sure you have that dinner. You need 3 meals a day. You can't survive off one. So we're making a nice, elegant dinner here. And a lot of everyone that gets into your lemony flavor, your lemon pepper you enjoy, that's why I encourage you, if you have not had chicken piccata yet, it's wonderful, all right? So we'll talk about those ingredients as well, all right? So now we've got our butter starting to melt. So we're going to get our butter melted down, and we're cooking our potatoes in a lot of flavor. So if you've ever gone over to potatoes and they're sticking to the spoon or they don't have a lot of flavor, well, that's the control of butter. We've got milk that's going there, or cream, I should say, and then a little bit of salt and pepper. But of course, what we have here is a half a pound of butter, okay? And we've got 4 cloves of garlic, okay, that we minced up, that we're going to add right to the butter. Smell-o-vision, butter, garlic, lots of flavor. So we've just added that in there as well. And we're going to get that going. Oh, you can see our butter is starting to melt. Let me get close to the camera girl here. So we've got that ready to go. And right when that melts completely, what we're going to end up doing is we're going to add the potatoes. And there's a couple of things that you see with potatoes. There's mashed potatoes, and there's whipped potatoes. There's roasted potatoes, baked potatoes. Well, we're going to go with mashed, not whipped, and we're going to go with our old school masher today, all right? For those that have never seen one of these, banana bread, any type of fruit that you need to pulverize. And in this case, guess what? We're going to mash up some potatoes, all right? So let's go ahead and get that going. So now our butter's pretty halfway melted. So we're going to go ahead and add our potatoes that just came out of the water, okay? So we've got a couple that jumped out on us, all right? So we'll add those. And we're going to slowly start to mash them, okay? And we want this recipe to be where you have little chunks in there. Not major chunks, but we're mashing. And if you can see all that butter and garlic, the smell-o-vision, we're sending it home to you. Right now, we are doing mashed potatoes the way they used to be done, all right? Old school way where you mash them and you get the flavors. And I want you to see the texture of the potato from the butter that we added. Oh, it looks good. Okay. Then we've got 2 tablespoons of salt and pepper that we're going to add in there. Okay. That's pretty much all the seasoning you need. Okay. And we're going to add milk sparingly because we want that butter and that salt and that garlic not to be taken away when we add the milk. Okay. So we want to get our potatoes out the way. We're going to pull this off just for a second here. Don't need the flame anymore. So we're going to pull it off. Okay. And then that way we can really get into it. All right. Oh, this looks good. Okay. And now what we're going to do is we're going to add about, this is 2 cups. We're going to add just about 1 cup, okay, of our milk. All right. Not a lot, just enough to get us a nice mashed, fluffy, flavorful garlic mashed potato. All right. Oh, that looks good. So as you can see, we need a little muscle here. So we're working. And oh, I can't wait to put this on the plate and you get a chance to see what we're working with here. Oh, our potatoes are simple. A lot of people stay away from making mashed potatoes because they tend to think that it's such a hard, difficult thing. But look here. 5 minutes later, and we are done. We're going to plate this up and show you all at home how we do mashed potatoes here at Just-in-Time. Oh, you should smell the garlic. And we didn't want to overcook the garlic because of the fact that the garlic will go bitter on you. So we wanted to keep that as high flavor as possible. There's our mashed potatoes, all right? Step number 1, mashed potatoes, garlic mashed potatoes are done. And now we're going to move into, hopefully that looks good to everyone out there. And now we're going to move into our piccata sauce, all right? So with our piccata sauce, because we're going to save the green beans for last, we're going to get that going first, okay? So with the piccata sauce, we're going to go ahead and heat up our stainless steel saute pan, okay? And then what we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit, and yes, the star of the show is here, our liquid gold, all right? So we're going to add a little bit of our gold, okay? And the reason being is because we're going to control the thickness of our sauce. So we want it to be a sauce. We don't want it to be runny, okay? So we're going to go ahead and add about a tablespoon, equal parts, all right, tablespoon of flour, okay? Oh, thank you, camera girl. And we're going to make a little bit of roux before we start adding everything in there. So we've got our flour, and notice we didn't do a lot of roux. We just did just a little bit because once we add our chicken to our piccata sauce, it'll start thickening up as well. But we want this working while our chicken is going, all right? So we're going to take our whisk here, all right? And we're going to get that broken down so now you can see our roux. And a roux is ready. If you've never made a roux before, it's like, how do you know if you actually cooked the flour? You start looking for that aroma, that popcorn flavor. You're trying to get that scent where you know you don't want raw flavor flour in your sauce, all right? So there's that, okay? And now we've got 2 cups of our chicken stock that we're going to add, okay? All right, add all of that, okay? Then we're going to let that work a little bit. Get our whisk, make sure all of our roux has been separated. We're trying to make sure we don't have any lumps there. And the main flavor, there are 2 main flavors when you're making a piccata sauce, okay? Number 1, gotta have capers. Little bud from the flour. You take your capers, you rinse them off, and then you add them right into your sauce, okay? There are your capers. And last but not least, you can't have piccata without a half a cup of lemon juice, all right? So we're going to add a half a cup of lemon juice, and those flavors will start working together, okay? And we're going to slide this over and let that sauce do its thing. We have it on low, okay? We're going to give it just a little bit more of a stir, and you'll see as we're getting through the show, that will start reducing, all right? Now we're going to move on to the chicken itself, all right? So I'm going to go ahead and grab a glove, okay? And we're going to lightly flour our chicken breast, okay? Now, I have 8 just because this is dinner for the day, so we needed that many. And I also bought 4 chicken breasts. And what you do is you butterfly those chicken breasts, which means you take it, lay it flat, protect your fingers, tuck them, and you cut them in half. And that allows a very fast cooking process with your chicken breast. So we're going to have our chicken breast pretty much about 3 to 4 minutes each side, and then we're going to jump in the sauce, okay? So we've got our flat top at about 325, okay? And then what we're going to end up doing is we're going to start flouring, lightly flouring. Now our chicken breast this season, oh, we can't forget, got to throw down some of the gold on the entire flat top because that's what we're cooking with today. All right, yep, we can go left hand, right hand, doesn't matter, right? So now we've got our gold on there. And we're going to lightly flour our chicken breast, okay? And we're going to end up getting a lot. Now, I like using a flat top just because of the fact of how much room I have, okay? So we're going to go ahead and add as many as possible on here, all right? Now you can cook them in series because they're going to go in the sauce once they're done. Okay. And as you can see, our sauce over here is starting to work slowly. And that's kind of the order that you want to do. Now we could have done this. We could have done this in a way that you could do the chicken breast in the pan, and then we kind of get the fond off the bottom, or we deglaze the pan. But there's no better way than to do it just in time, flat top fade ways. All right. So now we've got we're going to crank our temperature up to about 350. Okay. And we have 8 halves, which were 2 chicken breasts there. So we broke them into 8 halves. Okay. And as you see, we're going to get, looks like we're going to make it. We're going to get all of them on here, I hope. Okay. And now we're going to focus our sauce. Smells wonderful. Oh, you smell the capers. You smell the lemon juice, the chicken stock that we used. Oh, we got a lot. And we're just going to keep kind of hanging out here with our liquid gold and our chicken breast. And like I said, you may not need as many chicken breasts as I have here, but guess what? I got distracted. We got the FedEx person outside, and I bet it's not for me. So, back to the show. Live TV, I tell you, you never know what happens, all right? So, we've got that there. And now what we're looking for is a nice caramelization, a nice sear on our chicken breast halves that we butterflied. We cut them in half. And now gloves are gone, trying to practice sanitation here. And you can see it's pretty straightforward. So for dinner tonight, this is our dinner for tonight. And that's another reason why we wanted to put a heavy cream and a heavy butter in our potatoes, is because we're going to heat those up later on. And they're still going to have that flavor. They're still going to be creamy. And that's why we went with a lot of butter. But everything else, we're working here, all right? So crank our flat top up. We are definitely hovering at about 350 right now, okay? And we're going to get in and just take a peek. Got to get a little more color. And also, too, we're going to get a little more of the gold around the edge, okay? That way we know we got a lot of flavor as well as it's helping with the cooking process, all right? Wonderful being back on the SOS show. Been a couple of weeks. I hope you guys, ladies and gentlemen, get a chance to try this. I will be posting the ingredients later if need be. Kind of went over them earlier, but in the same scenario, I'll be posting. You can inbox me at Just in Time Flattop Faves on Facebook if you would like for ingredients right away. But it's a simple, wonderful, high-flavor dish that everyone will love, all right? So we've got our potatoes here. We're going to be starting on our green beans. And, of course, we're going to get our plate here. And this is going to be where our piccata, our chicken piccata hangs out, all right? So let's give our sauce a little love here. And as you see, it's starting to coat the spoon a little bit. And that's what we want. We want a lot of flavor. And this is it's a high citrus flavor sauce, or you're getting that flavor of the lemon as well as the seasoning that we have in our flour, okay? So let's go ahead and check these out real quick. So you see we're trying to get a little more color. We're almost there. So we're going to leave that down just for a few more minutes, okay? Oh, everything's starting to, oh, it smells good. The potatoes, and if you didn't know me, potatoes is one of my favorite. It's just potatoes, right? And our green beans, we're going to do totally different than you would even think of. But we want to keep that beautiful green as well, okay? So we've got our piccata sauce working. We've got our chicken ready to jump in with the piccata sauce. We're going to leave that going for a minute, and then we're going to jump on our green beans, all right? So that's kind of where we are. So let's see. Oh, wonderful color there. You know what? We're going to start turning these. They look good, all right? So we kind of turn them in the order that we set them down, okay? Oh, this is beautiful. Very happy with the color. Very happy with the color. All right. So we usually flip it just one time. All right. And then we're going to let that go. All right. Looks pretty good. We're getting there. Nice golden brown there. Okay. Now we're going to work on the other side for a few minutes. Okay. And then we're not far off of getting our green bean alomindine, putting everything in front of you, and then our dinner's done. All right. So we can heat this up later, and then we don't have to worry about dinner for the day, okay? So a couple of things, we're going to use almonds. So this is about a half a cup of almonds for our green bean alomindine. And of course, we'll be using some of the gold, all right? Got to make sure our sauce is doing what we want it to do, okay? Oh, that looks good. So take a peek at the sauce here, and you can see the sauce is starting to lightly coat the spoon. And that's where we wanted to get the sauce on right away. And that way we can make sure that the sauce thickens up and we're ready to go, okay? So we're getting real close to finishing this off. Like I said, 10 minutes total with the chicken breast. And even if you're worried about it not being completely at 165 degrees, you can do a couple of things. Number one, you can take the thermometer and temp them. Or number two, they're going to go in the sauce, and the sauce is going to help finish them off as well, all right? So lots of things going on. We got everything going on here. So we've got our sauce going, our chicken's finished up. And then we got just lots of flavors, all right? Lots of flavors going on. So we're going to go ahead and get another burner out here. And while our chicken is finishing off, so that we can respect everybody's time here, we're going to go ahead and get our green bean alomindine going, all right? So chicken's almost done. Our next burner's here. We're going to get that roller. And then we're going to go ahead and make sure our power is good. And we're going to get our next burner going. Let's get that one started up here, okay? And we'll just set that one there. And we're going to check on our chicken. That looks good. So we're going to flip our sauce over here. We're going to take this one here. And when you're cooking piccata and different things, we got a lot going on. We're moving and shaking, but I think we're okay, all right? So, finishing off our chicken. We're going to move our sauce in a second, and our chicken is almost time to go hang out with our chicken. Oh, this looks wonderful. Smells wonderful. We've got the capers in there. We've got the butter. We've got the seasoned flour. We've got the chicken stock and the lemon juice, all right? So, got this here. And one other thing that you can always do is as you start touching the chicken, like you can press down on it, the texture or the softness is gone, so it's starting to firm up. So you know that's getting real close to where we want to be, all right? Let's check that sear. Oh, that looks good. All right. We're about 1 minute, I would say, off of adding our beautiful chicken breast. This is nice. We're going to go ahead and crank it up. Right now, we're going to finish it off at about 375 just because we're about to jump in the sauce, okay? So we jump in the sauce, and we're good to go. Oh, that looks good. Get a little bit more color on that. Yeah, oh, that looks beautiful. So we've got our chicken, and we are about to go in our sauce. I think it's time, all right? So we're going to slowly start adding our chicken into our sauce, okay? And let it hang out in the sauce for a minute, okay? Hopefully that looks good to everyone out there. And yes, we are going to try our hardest to get all of them in here, and if not, we'll come back a little later, all right? Oh, it smells so good. We're going to go ahead and get our flat top off and get our last two pieces in here. Oh, this looks good. So now we've got all of our chicken kind of hanging out in the sauce. Take a peek at that. Let's see how that looks. So as you can see, a lot of the flavors are coming together. So yes, you're going to have the sauce for adding to your potatoes if you would like, or something along that line, but just kind of gives you an idea of what you want going on, all right? So we're going to leave that hanging out for a minute. And now we're going to go ahead and get our last item of the day, and that's our green bean alomindine, all right? So what we're going to do is we're going to heat up our pan, okay? Then we're going to add a little bit of the liquid gold right inside, all right? And this is going to really be about 2 ounces, all right? And in other words, we're just going to coat the bottom, okay? And then we're going to go ahead and Watch our temp on our sauce here. Oh, that looks wonderful. We're going to go ahead and add our almonds, okay? And we're actually, if you're familiar when you're trying to sweat onions or caramelize onions or things of that sort, that's kind of what we're going to do. So as you can see, the almonds are going to, oh, and it gets hot in the kitchen. So as you see, the almonds and the butter are going to start kind of working together. So we're not toasting them per se, but we are getting the almonds out of their raw state, okay? So they're getting infused with the butter, as well as they're just kind of hanging out in the liquid gold, all right? So once those go for a few minutes, we're going to go ahead and we're going to add the green beans. And this is only going to be about a minute or two, okay? So nice flavor, the light flavor of the almonds, and then your freshness of your green bean. And we're not going to overcook these. They're going to be tossed in the butter and almond, or the liquid gold and almond. And then we're just going to leave them in their natural color. So when they come out, we don't want them to start getting like dark green or gray. That means we've overcooked them, all right? So we're going to go ahead and start adding them as well, okay? So here comes our green beans. And as you can hear, oh, it's hot. So now we've got our green beans here, and we're just going to toss them right in the almonds and the butter. And look here, oh, that looks wonderful. And as you can see, we're trying to maintain that color, okay? And we're not going to overcook them. We want them to get the heat from the butter as well as the almonds mixed in. And hopefully, smell-o-vision is working. Hopefully, TV land, you are looking at something that you're going to try later. And it just gives it a nice little texture. The one thing I like about the green bean almondine is your almonds still have a nice little bite to them. So you got the softness of your green bean, as well as you have the flavor of the butter, all right? So we're going to season that up, and we're just going to let that go just for a minute, okay? And now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and start taking out. Got a plate here for our beautiful. Oh, I can't wait to put this on the plate. But we're going to we're going to take the chicken breast out first. So we're going to go one at a time. Oh, this looks good. Okay. Oh, man. We're going to try and help you all understand how great of a flavor this is. And all of the extra sauce that's in here, you can just leave for your own personal plate if you would like, all right? So let's go ahead and we'll go here and add all of that. Looks wonderful. And now we've got all of our chicken and our piccata sauce ready to go. So we've got that there. And then we're going to add just a little bit more of our sauce, okay? And the capers and the lemon juice and the butter. Oh, it looks wonderful, okay? So we've got our piccata ready. Get the capers. Lots of flavor here. Hopefully, TV land, you are enjoying this look here, okay? And we've got extra sauce for those that need more. And now let's look at these beautiful green bean almondine, all right? We're going to get all that flavor there. Oh, you should smell the almonds. The almonds took the majority of the flavor. Oh, yes. And there you have it. Simple, different flavor, different way to take a chicken breast to another level. We've got our garlic mashed potatoes. We've got our green bean almondine. And we've got our chicken piccata. And there's only one way we end the show. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Thank you, SOS. As always, it's been a blast. Love doing healthy meals for you all out there. Inbox me if you need any information in regards to this menu. But there's only one way we end the show. You know what time it is. It's Chip, baby. Just in time flat top faves with our garlic mashed potatoes. our green bean alomindine, and our chicken piccata. See you next time.
I know they gon' remember me, 'cause I'm gon' leave a legacy.